Namaskar, Vishen. Welcome to this talk show.
Thank you. It's so nice
So,
to be here.
you're welcome. So, basically, today's talk is about how does Vishen Lakhiani think? How did he create such a powerful organization, such a powerful company? We all are followers of yours. We've been seeing your work. We've been doing the courses which you're offering, and it's been an incredible journey for a lot of us from here in India to be inspired by you. And today we would like to start by asking you that, see, today you are a success. Today Mindvalley is a success. But I'm sure it all didn't start with a bang, right? You must have had your failures, and you must have your setbacks. So we would like to know from you, what is the mindset which is needed to overcome these barriers, these setbacks, and still keep going and achieve what you have achieved?
Right. So firstly, one of the things that I think is more important, and because I'm speaking to an Indian audience, and I'm Sindhi, my grandparents left India, what was then India, in 1939, and moved to Malaysia. So I grew up as a Hindu in a Sindhi family in Malaysia. And so I actually want to answer this question differently from how I normally would address it to an American audience, right? One of the most important things that I do is I believe in guidance, in divine guidance, and I pray. Recently, so one of the books that completely changed my life is Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda.
Right.
And that book also made me fascinated with India and Indian history. One of the things that I do, which I think is a very good practice for everyone, is whenever I'm faced with a problem, whenever I'm faced with a difficulty, I imagine I can converse with Yogananda. So I see myself I get relaxed, I meditate, and I just have a conversation with either Yogananda or Babaji, who was Yogananda's guru. And I pretend as if they're talking back to me. Whether you believe in that or not doesn't matter, but I find that it gives me a calmness. It makes me feel that there's a higher power watching over me. And after that conversation, I just feel as if I'm going to overcome whatever difficulty is in my way. And maybe that's a belief system thing, but then I end up overcoming the belief. The worst thing we can do when we hit a wall is that we get obsessed with the wall. We tell ourselves, damn it, this happened to me again. Every time you shift your energy towards condemnation or towards I'm failing or towards life sucks, it attracts more of that energy. Eventually you move down into a downward spiral. So the way to shift that is to shift your belief system and trust. Whether you trust in God or whether you trust in your friends or whether you trust in your own mindset and brain. And I choose to trust in a higher power watching over me. I tell myself, listen, I'm a purveyor of wisdom. My dharma in the planet is to spread enlightened ideas. And so I trust that I can access this higher wisdom, that I have guides or angels, whether it's Christ or Yogananda, watching over me. And I trust that this difficulty, this barrier will dissolve.
And it does.
Always inevitably. There was a time when we were running out of money. We were a private company. We were running out of money. I didn't have enough money to pay Christmas salaries for my employees. And I remember just at the last minute, because of that trust, we had a very interesting sudden spike in sales. And we got just the amount of money we needed to be able to pay salaries that month.
Wow.
And overcome that hurdle. Every time I've walked into a wall out of stupidity or my own bad business decisions, of which I've made many, I found that trusting and prayer and asking for guidance in a humble way has helped.
Lovely. That's absolutely amazing. In fact, since we are on this, I would like to share that I just started on my spiritual journey. On a serious note, of course, I was always spiritual. I'm also Hindu, and I follow, basically I'm a practicing Hindu. So I follow all what is supposed to be done, but I was not on that with that kind of seriously. A year and a half back, I think something just struck and I said, yeah, I need to get on the spiritual path. And I've also felt the same thing which you're saying, that it really, really, really makes life much more easier, decisions, mind calmer, ideas coming in and things just going our way. I mean, I've had similar experience to what you're saying. Lovely. So another aspect of business, in one of your interviews, I remember you saying that you went through a major burnout, and
Right.
today business owners are overexerting themselves and they're burning out. So, what's your advice on that? How do we deal with that?
So there are a couple of important things to look at over here. Now, what is burnout? Burnout is basically when your stress level overcomes your ability to cope with the stress. All of us have a ceiling,
Mhm.
right? Ceiling is what we're capable of dealing with. You look at a man like Elon Musk, multiple companies and so on, but even he hits his ceiling.
I'm
For
sure.
most of us, our wealth, our ambition is much less than Musk, but we still hit our ceiling. Now, to expand your ceiling, there are a couple of practices that you got to do. Now, your ceiling is basically measured through a concept called distress tolerance. Your
Could you repeat
ability
it
to
again?
tolerate distress tolerance.
Okay.
Distress
Okay.
tolerance. It's your ability to tolerate chaos. Sometimes they call it grit. Sometimes they call it your perseverance. But let's use the scientific term, distress tolerance. How do you raise your ability to deal with complexity? There are a couple of ways. Meditation in the morning is one of the most powerful ways. Number two, improving your health. When you improve your health, and this is primarily through the right form of exercise, the right form of eating, when you improve your health, you increase your distress tolerance because health, working out, not running, but working out, lifting weights in the gym, eating healthy, improve your biology. And stress is a function of biology. Stress is an increase in cortisol, which is a chemical in your body that causes your body to think that it's under attack. Okay, so health. The third one is sleep. Now, sleep is very interesting. One of the primary things we do as entrepreneurs when we get busy is we sacrifice sleep. We say, listen, I'm just going to sleep 6 hours tonight. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to get back at this project. But studies show that if you cut down your hours of sleep, your brain processing power goes down significantly. There was a study done with soldiers on a shooting range. At
Mhm.
their normal sleep, they are 90% accurate. You take away 2 hours of sleep, so they go from 8 hours to 6 hours, their accuracy goes to 50%.
Oh.
So business owners who are sacrificing sleep are actually going to cause more stress the very next day because they can't think straight. Okay,
Mhm.
so now you've had meditation, exercise, sleep. Now the fourth one is supplementation. Our food today, all around the world, I don't care where you live, does not contain the same nutritional density as the food that our grandparents eat. I was
Mhm.
interviewing Vyome's founder, Naveen Jain, the great Indian entrepreneur. You know, he built an AI company to study gut microbiome, and he was telling me avocados today, which is considered a superfood, has one-eighth the nutritional density of avocados in the
Oh
1980s.
my God.
How do we compensate that? You need to take supplements. The most important supplements for relieving stress are 5-HTP. It's a natural supplement, 5-HTP, GABA, and then at night taking magnesium so you sleep well. 5-HTP, GABA, magnesium. These four things, when you bring them into your life, can have a profound impact on stress, and they're all very easy to do.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, in fact, apart from the last one, I also propagate the other three. I was not very sure about the science behind that, but thank you very much for sharing that. And it was very interesting to learn this. Okay, so another side of business. Okay, now you operate your business on a global level as you're traveling all over the world. Your companies and your employees are spread all over the world, and we would like to know from you what's your formula to build a world class team which reduces year on year.
Okay, so the one thing to understand is that my formula is unimportant. If you're a
Okay.
founder, you need to create a formula that matches your lifestyle. Before the
Mhm.
pandemic, I had an office in Malaysia with close to 200 plus employees. Our office was one of the best places to work in Malaysia. Our office made Inc. magazine, top 10 most beautiful offices in the world. I would show up every day in that office. I'd spend 9 hours in the office every day. I knew every single one of my employees' names. I was constantly meeting people, but I was unhappy because I had no free time to travel. I didn't like living in Malaysia. I wanted to live in another part of the world. When the pandemic hit, I was forced to move to Estonia. Why? Because my children, my ex-wife is Estonian, my children are half Estonian. Malaysia was the worst hit country. Schools were closed for 2 years. In Estonia, the schools were open. So
Mhm.
that my kids could go to school and not go through learning at home,
Yeah,
I moved to
homeschool.
Estonia. All of a sudden, separated from the office. And you know what I found? I could work just as well from home. I didn't have to set foot in the office. And so we created a work from home policy. My employees, 70% of them chose to work from home. I chose to work from home. And we built a lifestyle where we don't watch people based on the hours they put in. It's a culture based on trust. You work from home, you have projects, you have OKRs, you have measurables, you have a team that you're responsible for, and it's built on trust because we hire good people. Now, this has given me a new way of working. We are seeing that revenue per employee has gone up considerably. The company has doubled in revenue overall, but
Wow.
I now have the freedom to live the life I want. And you know what I want? I want to not have to set foot in an office. I want to work from home. So if I need to take an afternoon nap to lower my stress level, I can do it. If I need to go to the gym at 4 p.m., I can do it. If I want to work from Copenhagen and experience a beautiful city, I can do that, right? So I've created a company based on, so my way is my way because it's not just about the company, it's about I choose to want to live life in some ways to be able to explore the world, experience the world. Last week, I was in Egypt exploring the pyramids. The week before that, I was in Amsterdam. During this time, I'm still talking to my team. I'm still communicating, but I'm getting to do so and run a huge company without sacrificing my personal desires, which is to experience all the beauty that the world can offer. Now, for a different entrepreneur, it might be a different set of goals.
Right, right. In fact, I meet entrepreneurs day in day out. That's what my work is as a business coach, and most of them, if not all of them, they have the same aspiration as you and I have, that we should be able to build businesses and enjoy our lives as well. Today, I operate business in India, in Dubai, in Singapore, and I live in Thailand. I got least amount of business in Thailand, but I love the place, so I live in Thailand,
That's
and I
wonderful.
yeah
Right. Exactly,
yeah
exactly. So
yeah.
there's a key idea in that for everyone who seeks to listen.
So tell me a little bit more. Like now, the team is on remote control. So what are the things which you guys do to have the productivity going? A lot of business owners have this fear
So
that if I leave them, probably everything will drop down if I move away.
so there are a couple of things that as a leader you can do to
Hmm.
make sure that the productivity is happening, right? So one of the things that I do is there's a great book called Great CEOs Are Lazy. And the book talks about how as a CEO, you got to wear different hats and investigate your business. There's the strategy hat where you're thinking big strategy. There's the engineer hat where maybe you're working with the technical team. There's the learner's hat where you're taking time off to study better ways of doing your business. There's the player's hat where you dive into a team and you basically work very closely with the team to increase efficiency. There's the coach hat where you're coaching your employees. You got to wear all of those five hats and you got to enjoy them, right? You should enjoy them because it is your business. So I wear those different hats and I move in, I go into the business. And if I see a team that's moving too slow, I light a fire to accelerate it. If I see something that isn't effective, I bring in AI specialists to build using no code software or AI tools, new effective workflows. I always challenge my team to do what traditional teams can do in 5 days. I challenge my team. I always ask them, why can't we do this in 24 hours? And then they find ways. I'll give you an example. It used to take us 1 week to put up a web page. Actually, it used to take us 2 weeks, right? I told my team, why? Why can't I give you a specific web page task? Why can't it go up at 8 a.m.? And so we made that an objective for this quarter. So next week, I'm giving my team a specific random web page for a random product that doesn't even exist, that we don't intend to market. And they have to nail copywriting with ChatGPT,
Mhm.
image design with Midjourney. They have to nail web page construction. They have to nail rapid deployment. They have to get this entire page ready in 8 hours, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So these challenges ensure that the team is operating in the most effective way. Now, it also causes some people to stress out and burn out. That's
Right.
okay. Those people I don't want to have on the team. The
Yeah.
best people love these challenges because they learn from it. They become better. Their salary goes up. Their job offers go up. So this causes the team to get really, really, really focused. But at the same time, I protect my team. I tell my team, look, I don't want you having to stay back in the office after 7:30 p.m.
Mhm.
because you need balance, right?
Mhm.
And so I want to build a team of like top performers. And by deploying these ideas, we've been able to get there. I'm so proud of the people that I work with.
Lovely, lovely. It's absolutely amazing to hear that. So let's bring us to the next question. You also talk about something called 1% rule. Now, I would want our viewers to know what it is and how a business owner can apply this to fast track their success in business.
Yeah. So in every team that I lead, I want the people in the team to aim to be the 1% in their industry. And I tell them, listen, if you join me and you're a copywriter, how can we get you to the 1% of copywriters in the world? Because guess what? In the world today, salary is not linear. Salary is exponential. The people in 1% make twice as much as the people in the top 5%, maybe even 4 times as much. The people in the top 5% probably make twice as much as the people in the top 40%. So the closer you go to 1%, your salary doesn't increase this way, your salary increases exponentially, right? So how do you get to 1%? Well, there are many different skills you can learn. One of the biggest, most important skills right now is applied artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So when we brought applied AI, ChatGPT for market research, ChatGPT for copywriting, ChatGPT for editing, 70% of the writers in the company, we no longer need it. We transitioned them out or we got them to change jobs. But the 2 writers we had left, they're getting so good, they're moving towards the 1%. So the question I always ask my employees is, how can you be in the 1%? Not for me. Look,
Yeah.
I tell them, if you're in the 1%, you don't have to work for me 5 years from now. You can start your own agency. You can start your own company. And many people that have worked at Mindvalley have indeed done this. They've gone on to start their own agency, their own company, their own development workshop, because they got so good, they could become a world-class expert.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Now you are coming to the Indian Wealth Summit 2.0 as a keynote speaker. So we would like to know what people should expect to learn or gain, or what would be their takeaway, because you're talking about altered state and how it helps for peak performance. You'll also talk about how you build this $150 million turnover company. So what would be few takeaways people
So
should
2 things.
expect? Yeah.
In short, 2 things. Number one, I'm going to talk about how to build a company from the developing world. I built a company that is recognized as a leader in its field in the United States without being in the United States. Mindvalley was built in Malaysia, right? Developing country. But I didn't choose to build a Malaysian company. That would have been too easy. I wanted to build an American company that could take on American competitors, hit 150 million in revenue, be a global brand in America. Today, even when I walk the streets in America, yesterday I was in Egypt and I was passing through Istanbul airport. 3 people in 24 hours approached me to say, thank you for your product. That's what I'm going to teach. So you can be in India. You don't have to be out in the West. How to build a company that's a global brand. That's number one. The second thing is how to do it so that every year you do it, you get happier and healthier.
Wow, superb. I'm excited. Looking forward for that. All right. So next area I would like to dwell upon is today, or especially in India, from many, many years, we are very open to look at gurus and mentors for our spiritual life, for personal development. But I don't see many people doing that for business growth, for business development. How important you think today having a mentor for business growth is?
So it's important, but you cannot have just one mentor. So I have a problem with this guruship worship culture in Indian culture. I know this because my extended Indian family is all around the world. And sometimes I find that people I know of Indian origin worship one guru. No, you cannot do that. What if that guru is wrong? And I've seen many instances where the guru was proven to be a charlatan or a fake. You need to have multiple gurus around you. The whole issue of Mindvalley is not that you worship one person. I started this company, I was the teacher, but I brought on 70 other teachers, many of whom disagree with me on certain things, and that is okay. In Mindvalley, you are the center, and the 70 teachers are around you, and you can learn X from this teacher, and you can learn Y from this teacher. And these teachers can have opposing philosophies. Just among Indian teachers, we have Sadhguru, we have Mahatria, we have an MBA professor, Sri Kumar Rao. We have Shafali Sabari. We have all of these different teachers who grew up in India.
Right.
And they say things which are counter, and that's okay. You have to decide, but you don't decide from one person. You have to explore. like a buffet. You have to look at ideas and you have to then form your own opinion.
Thank you very much. Uh, Vishen, you would be also addressing business owners at a Thailand winter samurai retreat, where you are expected to basically share your case study about how Mind Valley was formed, what was the idea behind it, what are challenges you went through. Would you give a sneak peek into what we can learn from that case study?
Absolutely. By the way, I just realized your audience is probably wondering why I'm sipping this cup so with so much passion. So I'm a tea drinker. I love tea. And today I decided to experiment because we were doing this call and I'm speaking to an Indian audience. I decided to experiment with Indian chai. And it's so good. I don't normally drink chai, but this is so good. And I'm just really enjoying it. So
Lovely.
your question was the case study. I'm going to be talking about some of the most important principles that I brought together to build a business. And I think some of these principles, and I'm going to be very specific. I'm going to tell you the resources to look at, books to go deeper in. I'm going to give you like a map. Your job is to explore the map. But so there'll be ideas that you will have to dig in deeper, but I'll give you the resources. I'll tell you what books to read, who to follow, what videos to watch. And there will be ideas that will instantly give you an insight that I hope will change the way you show up in the world.
Lovely. So this is what we want to discuss with you. Thank you very much for your time. It was our pleasure to have you here.
Likewise.
And I'm sure everybody
I
listening.
enjoyed this.
Thank you very much. Namaste.
You're a very charming man, Dr. Ameet. And I like your glasses. Take care.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishen. Thank you so much. I'll be
Thank you,
getting in
Amit.
touch with you for the recording and the other coordination correctly.
Awesome. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye bye.